Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 25 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand, coming at an earlier time because if you have a look at the press conference times on the right-hand side of your screen, the big one that we really want, Liverpool, 11:30am. That's why I'm here early. Don't worry if you're late though, if you tuned in later on, because I'm going to have everything covered from that crucial press conference. We need updates on Salah, we need updates on Trent and more. So there's plenty to go through on that one. We've also got the City press conference at 12:30 that I didn't want to be late for either. Remember, Liverpool and City are the big targets this week with those double game weeks. We will hear from Luton and Brentford as well later this afternoon. We'll also have updates from Bournemouth, Spurs and Wolves at 1 o'clock. So updates on Porro and Hee-Chan Huang coming up as well. If you're here, come and say hello in the chat. Thrilled to see nearly 100 of you in already. Let's try and get the stream up to 100 likes and come and say hello as well. VJ is in and modding. Thank you so much. We've got Abod in, Light Rays, Jar, Dev, Zeron, Niraj, Gary, FPL Down Under, Decky, Mitt, and VJ. So good to see all of you. Thank you for joining. Like Ray said, the earlier the start, the better here in Sydney. That's very dedicated of you to tune in overnight every Friday. But glad that I can be a little bit early for you with this one. The poll is live as well. Key question to start with is, have you got a chip active for game week 25? I'm guessing there'll be a lot of triple captainers this week, particularly on Erling Haaland. There may be a few wildcards. I'm on the bench boost. Could be free hit as well. There's so many ways to play this game right now. I tell you what I'll do. I'm just going to... I don't want to miss anything from Klopp's presser, obviously. That's why we're here this early. But I'm just going to jump across to show you... my team. Having played the wild card last week, I'm setting out with 12 doublers for double game week 25 with the triple captain chip not active, the bench boost chip active. So on my bench, I've played the doublers, why not? So on my bench, I've got Richarlison at home to Wolves, Gabriel away at Burnley. Richarlison obviously in fine form. Gabriel also in pretty decent form from an attack perspective. Arsenal clean sheet so consistent, and Burnley certainly weak from set pieces. And Branthwaite at home to Crystal Palace, who are in turmoil at the moment. It was a weird turn of events yesterday with Roy Hodgson falling ill in training, having had rumours swirling all morning of, is he going to be sacked? So who knows what the manager situation will be at Palace by the time we get to this fixture. It is the Monday night game. But just to recap, we've got quite a lot of press conferences to get through today. Liverpool at 11:30. That's going to have an update on Salah. Is he fit to start? Who knows? I think most of the talk in training this week is that he's been in team training, but certainly not in full team training. He's been doing the non-contact stuff in training. So that's going to be an interesting one. We're also going to hear about Trent, who we expect. There was a report, I can't remember where it's from now. There was a report in the Times this week that Trent will miss the cup final, which comes next Sunday. Remember, that's going to cause a little bit of rotation potentially. So that's what we're expecting Klopp to say. But we're also going to hear about Conor Bradley, who would be Trent's likely replacement, who missed the last game because unfortunately his father died. So that's something else to look out for from Klopp's press conference that is meant to be coming now, but I can't actually see him in and chatting yet. But that's something that we're looking to. At 12:30, we've got the City press conference. Hopefully, nothing major coming out of that one, but you never know. Fingers crossed, not anyway. And then at 1 o'clock, we've got Bournemouth We've got Spurs, where we're wanting to hear about Porro. We've got Wolves, where we're wanting to hear about Hechan. Chelsea supposedly at 1:30, although we do normally get comments at 1, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did get an update there. But the tweet deck is open, so we are waiting for these comments from Klopp as soon as possible. What did I just see? I swear, I don't think this is updating. I've just seen that there's open training going on at Brighton this morning, and Matoma apparently training away from the main group. So that's something potentially of interest. Yeah, Chelsea press conference ahead of the City game is at 1:30. While we're waiting for these press conferences to start then, I will keep an eye on the tweet deck in another tab, but I do want to start answering some of your questions because there's plenty of opportunity to go through these today. First question was was it Light Rays on I think it was a bit of a start and bench dilemma. Seem to have lost it now. Oh, it's Abod, bench 1, Branthwaite, Saliba or Trips. I think it'd have to be Saliba. Whoa. I'm already on to my 3rd cold of the year, guys, so hopefully I'm not coughing too much in this one. Do apologise. Need to remember to switch the mic back on afterwards. Gary has said, play one of Porro, Palmer or Garnacho. I think the injury concern to Porro means that I would probably play Palmer. I know City away, people look at the fixture and think, not for me, but 3 double digits in those last 5, only 1 blank in that time against his old club. I do fancy him. We've got 170 of you in already, which is amazing. We're up to about nearly 50 likes. Let's try and get it to 100 though. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. I am on the road to 30,000 subscribers. I must apologise, by the way, for not having team selection out the last few weeks. I've been away twice. This week it's been half-term juggle. It's also been my eldest daughter's birthday. So that's why I've switched some of the content to short form in the last couple of weeks, but I will be getting back into a better routine next week. I had a lot going on personally, so I haven't been able to keep up with the upload schedule, but I will be back to it. But appreciate all your support and well wishes anyway. Murta said, time to triple captain. I think if you don't need to play another chip this week, it's probably the easiest decision you're going to need to make on triple captain. The opportunity is there. The best player in FPL with a double game week, 2 home games as well. Birdie is in and saying hello, good to see you. Andrea, using a wild card this week. Yep, it's an option if you need it. If we have a look at the AI teams on the hub, remember you can get access to this with a 7-day free trial, and it should help you if you log in to be able to see exactly how it could benefit your team. But the wildcard team for this week, no surprise to see plenty of Brentford players in there and City players given their utility. We've also got Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden, Saka, Gabriel and Branthwaite coming in. Garnacho, Moreno, Taylor and Dubravka easy on the budget there. I think that's a very good starting place. Anyone fancying a free hit this week? There's plenty of inspiration in there as well. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to be stopping to cough every 2 minutes. But yeah, free hit and wildcard teams available on the hub. And obviously, if you're a hub member, which you can get with a 7-day free trial using the link in my bio, then it'll give you your AI transfers this week. Interestingly for me, the recommendation to sell Richarlison for Gordon, the AI doesn't know yet the blank Gameweek 29 fixtures, of course, because they've not been confirmed. So I personally wouldn't recommend doing that one. But Gordon could be playing up front for Newcastle. Wilson undergoing surgery apparently for a pectoral tendon strain, something like that. Isaac not fit to be back for this week either. So lots to consider. Right, it looks like Jurgen Klopp is in. So let's see what he's got to tell us. Salah was a late question last time, which was weird. We've also got a member question in from Nick. Thank you for the support. I have Foden, Salah, juicy, Robertson, De Bruyne, Haaland, Adebayo, Tony as doublers. I took a -4 for Saka and Jota for Foden and Salah. Have I done clever or stupid? Well, I would have waited till Klopp's presser. We'll bring Saka back next week. I don't like doing transfers where you're taking a player out for another player and then reversing the move the next week, because essentially, even with free transfers, you should ought to be using them elsewhere. It's going to cost you 8 points effectively for the transfer out and the transfer in. And I don't know whether that's a wise use of points, particularly when you're selling a player like Saka and Jota, who could do well in the double. But, you know, if Salah is available, I may take it all back. Let's see what he's got to say, though. FPL Down Under said, like the stream, everyone. It costs nothing and it supports the channel. Thank you. You're doing the work for me. We've got 76 likes. So we could do a bit better than that. There's 250 of you in. Nick said I did stupid. It's up in the air at the minute. Now you've made the decision, you can't change it. It's something that you can reflect on after the game week. But, you know, some interesting quotes from Klopp could change your mind to think that you've absolutely made the right decision. Salah is back in full training and will return to the squad at Brentford. That is the update. Right. Maybe not the baddest, stupidest idea then, Nick. At all. Well. Who would believe it, eh? So Salah, back in full training, will return to squad against Brentford. So just updating my graphic there, so that you can get it on screen as well. That is the big update then. Wow. Does that change anything for you guys? Gosh, what is happening here? Sorry, my PC is not playing ball. Well, it was worth going early on the stream just for that update. He's obviously going to have other updates for me as well. Well, not just for me personally, for us in terms of FPL. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to update the graphic so that we can get it all on your screen as well. How are we feeling about that? Is anyone going to pull the trigger now and try and get Salah into their squad off that update? I can't see him starting against Brentford personally. I can't see it happening. Completely lost the background now, haven't I, when trying to update that. Where's my graphic gone? I need to find a better process for this, I feel. There we go. We've got it. Salah back. Wow. Klopp on injuries. As long as I'm here, we never forced anyone back. We always try to catch the earliest moment. Unfortunately, when we catch that, nobody speaks out. He's obviously had a bit of criticism at some point. A lot of quotes as a result of that quote to say Probably be on the bench for Brentford and Luton and then start the cup final. I cannot see him starting against Brentford. He could start against Luton. Ben Dinner is a good source, by the way, in terms of return kind of trajectory from this sort of injury. Trent is out. There was a discussion we might have forced Trent back because of a setback. As long as I'm here, we'll know. So that was to do with Trent. So Trent is out, which doesn't come as a surprise. It was kind of the news we was expecting. It may cause a little bit more protection of Salah in his return with that update on the recurrence of the injury for Trent. Mo is back in full training. That automatically brings him into contention. And it sounds like Bradley is back. Konate, Gomez, Bradley, Alisson, all back. Just Trent out. So that's quite interesting. A good update, though. That came through from Neil, who I'm guessing is watching this press conference along live. What's our thoughts then? Shall I ask a question? There's 80% of you playing a chip for this week. So I'm going to ask a question. How much does Salah play in the double? Starts both. Starts one, benched one, or benched both. Personally, I don't think he will start both games. I'd be surprised if he even started one of the games. And for that reason, I don't think we have to rip up our squads to get him in. However, some will. Nick's already done it. Would you go there for captaincy, Nick? I mean, Liverpool do have the pick of the fixtures. Jamo says Joe Gomez to start. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the predicted lineups on the Hub. I'm loving this new dashboard, by the way, on the Hub homepage for members. I've got 100% rating, and I've got loads of players going up in price because obviously I went all in on the wild card. Liam says, how should I know? Read the poll. It's just personal opinion, just your prediction. I'm not saying you should know. It's just interesting to see what people's thoughts are on it. Yeah, so whoever asked me about Gomez, Ben's predicting Gomez starts. Front three of Núñez, Diaz, Jota. Midfield of Jones, Endo and McAllister. With Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate and Gomez in the defence. Alisson at the back. Have we had an update on Szoboszlai? Don't know if we have, actually. Although I don't think he was flagged. I think he's another player that was getting eased back in. Like we see for Trent, for example, came back from a knee injury, benched one game, started another game off at 57 minutes. I feel like we could see a similar trajectory for Salah here. Oh, Szoboszlai is red flagged. So have we not had an update on Szoboszlai? Don't think we have. Nick going triple captain Haaland, fair enough. Whilst all that has been going on, Akshat has joined us to mod. Said, hey, Holly. Welcome to all overseas and newcomers. Please share and subscribe to Holly's award-winning channel. Give the stream a like if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks, guys. We're up to 100 likes, which is brilliant. There's 370 of you in. And Akshat reminded, please don't spam the chat. Be patient, all your questions will be answered. I'll probably keep the tweet deck open in another tab, just so that I can keep an eye on it. But I do want to focus a bit more on your questions, because now we've had the update from Klopp, we're not expecting to hear from anyone else for the next 45 minutes until we hear from Pep at 12:30 with another big update. Interestingly, most of you predicting Salah to start one and be benched for one. He's never had a hamstring injury before, so we don't know how he's going to respond to returning, to be fair. Whether he'll be straight back in form, I mean, how it's going to impact him. So, there's plenty of, moving parts to consider. Remzino, gonna triple captain Adebayo. Please don't do it. Your triple captain, at the very least, should be with Man City or Liverpool. Alan says, which two of Estupinan, Porro and Branthwaite do you think I should start? Probably Estupinan and Branthwaite, depending on the update from Postecoglou on Porro. Glyn, Doughty or Reguilon? I mean, if we look at the predicted points, Doughty is on 6.1, Reguilon 5.2, but you also need to look at the bigger picture of what your team will look like for 26, because Luton do blank, Brentford don't, and Luton have the double in 28, Brentford the fixture in 29, so you need to think of how you can get through those other game weeks as well. Simon is in, good to see you. And Nick said, subscribe to Holly. She actually engages with her members, which is something that's not always the case with other content creators. I guess I've got a few less members than some, so that might help. But yeah, try my best. There's only so many hours in the day though, isn't there? I'm still reeling that Salah's it was quite a positive update from Klopp. Akshat, member for 8 months now. Incredible support, man. I've used the bench boost this week with Haaland captain, 10 double game week players, and in 26 we'll have 9 with 2 free transfers. Triple captain 28 on Solanke. Interesting. I can already see the kind of Salah buzz starting to trickle through on Twitter. Stephen's playing free hit. Good luck. Mert, we don't have enough money to buy Salah after KDB and Haaland. That's very true. And I'd rather own both of those, if I'm honest. Matt Young, should I take a -4 to get Trent out and 2 good players in? Yeah, probably. I think that's a wise move. Peter, good to see you back. Thank you. Struggling to decide between Saliba or Gabriel, hoping for long term. I think you could feasibly buy both at the moment. I think Gabriel's just got that little bit more, but both if you can. Monkey Basket, which other FPL creators do you consider mates, Holly? I mean, everyone in the FPL community is so friendly. I've been to loads of FPL meetups. Obviously, Gianni is like my TV husband. We're often on Sky together, so I'd say he's a good mate. He's probably the one that I chat to most outside of stuff. But, so many of the content creators are friendly and, support. We all support each other. I think you have to when you're doing something so niche. And, the FPL community on Twitter has been pretty toxic recently. But we do all have each other's backs. Niraj, can you imagine a Haaland injury would cause chaos? Don't say it. Please don't say things like that. Mark says, thinking of Trent and Alvarez out for Ake and Tony for a -4. Thoughts? I don't think it's worth selling Alvarez this week, personally. I think you stick with him. Dev, I've got one free transfer. Should I buy Darwin for Tony or should I roll? Roll. Is it worth keeping Watkins or selling for Tony? I think Watkins to Tony is okay. I think it's okay to sell Watkins or Solanke this week for Tony and Darwin. Best Trent replacement, Van Dijk if you don't need him next week. Okay, if you do need them next week. KDB or Haaland, got to be Haaland. Mike, bench is Stupinan or Branthwaite? Probably Branthwaite. Simon, play Porro, Stupinan or Sensei? Probably a Stupinan. Remzino, start Gordon or Palmer? Both. I do think Palmer will play very well against City. Abdul, do you think that Haaland's grandmother's death will affect him playing the first game? No idea. This popped up on Twitter and was doing the rounds yesterday. I'm not putting too much weight into it though. I think we've had a little update on Szoboszlai somewhere. To return around the cup final. Trent back 1 or 2 weeks after that. Lots of people going Salah on Twitter. FOMO. Simon, member for 6 months now as well. On a wild card. I've got chronic analysis paralysis. It's a bit of a tongue twister, Simon. I'm going to swerve Luton and Brentford. Double game week for United and Arsenal. Love to you and family. Oh, thank you. United, I agree with Arsenal. But United, not so convinced. By the way, guys, this will cause more carnage. The Liverpool game is the early kickoff. So if there's an update to be had on Salah starting tomorrow, I don't think it will happen personally, but it will cause carnage. So you're going to have to keep your ear to the ground. I'm actually on Sky tomorrow, so I'll be on air until 3 minutes to the deadline. To be honest, I don't think I've got a way of getting Salah in. I think I'm kind of committed to my strategy now. But what I would say is just have a look at how you could get Salah in your team in case we do get that news pre-deadline that he starts. I doubt he will. I think for most people, it'll be a case of not buying a De Bruyne this week in order to buy Salah instead. But having the funds is a tough one. To be honest with you, I don't know when I'm going to get Salah back. Probably not till after the international break. So I'm going to miss out on Forest away. I think Everton away will be a blank. Hopefully, I'm just going to miss out on starts for Forest away, City at home, and then a blank. We'll see. Interesting. But yeah, it is the early kick-off that game. So if you are tempted to go there, wait for news maybe. Eshank, do you think Bradley starts any two of these fixtures? I do think the Liverpool defence is pretty impossible to predict at the moment, barring Van Dijk. An update on Grealish just in. Expected to be sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks with a groin injury. If we just wrap up all the info that we've got already, because I have been bookmarking everything. I might need to give this a little refresh. Szoboszlai back for the cup final. Trent a couple of weeks after that. Salah back in full training. Automatically in contention. Konate no longer suspended. Gomez fit. Bradley back. Alisson back. Looks like Matoma training away from the main group for Brighton. Don't know if we're going to get a presser from De Zerbi today. Reece James potentially returning to some sort of training for Chelsea, but won't be back until April, May time, which I think is more than fair enough. Not particularly helpful injury update from Arteta, who said he is positive that he'll get a few players back tomorrow. That could include Smith Rowe, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, but didn't name any specifically. Partey could be back soon as well. Wilson having surgery today. Hope that he could be back at some point this season. Murphy not trained all week. Isaac will probably miss out, but it's very close. I mean, do we even trust Eddie Howe anymore? Because he categorically told us last week that Gordon was out and he started. Luckily, he didn't haul. Wang Hee-chan looks to be in full training this week for Wolves. We will have the Wolves presser at 1. Man United was one of 3 press conferences yesterday, along with Forest and Burnley. Setbacks for Wan-Bissaka, Malacia and Mason Mount. Shaw a late fitness test. That's the Wilson news. We heard from Burnley. Foster having surgery. Charlie Taylor should be available. Palace, no presser because of the situation with Roy Hodgson. And then we had this on Porro. Muscular injury being assessed. He wasn't in training yesterday. Neither was Udogie. And from City. This was obviously they were the only team to play midweek in the Champions League. Only team in Europe this week, Vardiol and Kovacic. And then we know those now, don't we? This thread was quite interesting, by the way. About, the trajectory of maybe Salah being back. Salah with some minutes somewhere against Luton was the prediction there. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. Coming up next at 12:30, so that's in about 30 minutes' time, we've got an update from Pep Guardiola. Annoyingly, there are a few Haaland rumours floating around. Something to do with a funeral. They are just rumours at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see if we get any nuggets of information on that one, because it is such a big week with the triple captain in play for so many of you, that we kind of just want that full picture. I can't believe I've got another cold. It's just ridiculous. Right. Back to your questions then. And I think there's been... No, I haven't missed any members' questions. That's okay. Pool kit. What do you think about KDB, Foden, triple captain? I don't love it. I think at the start of the season, if I asked you who you want to triple captain at some point this season, you'd say Haaland. KW, should I play Stupidon or Reguilon? I'd play Reguilon. Robert may end up regretting it, but bench boosting too. Join the club. Have a bit more conviction. 11 doublers, Raya, Gross, Gabriel, Branthwaite on the bench. That's nice. Karan, Trent, Richarlison and Solanke out for Dallo, Saka and Tony for a -4. The thing is with selling Richarlison, obviously he blanks next week, so if you need someone for next week, that works, but he does have that utility in 29 and nice fixtures in between. So only sell him if you really have to, because Wolves at home, nice single game week fixture. I've gone for the bench boost with that. Palace at home in 27. and then a fixture in 29, which is Fulham away. I don't know if I'd do it. Can you sell Trent and Solanke? I know you want Saka, though. I get that. Saka could do just... it could pay off. Scribbles. Got 2 free transfers. Should I bring in 2 Brentford players, then transfer them out next game week? No. Only bring in a double game week player this week if you're planning to hold them for a few weeks. Not to take them out and bring them in and take them back out again. Finn, Richarlison or Adebayo? Richarlison. Prince, Trent for Conor Bradley or Gomez? I think it's Van Dijk or Ake. Pulkit, does Gordon playing up front make him a worse asset? Just trying to think what other games he's played up top in. He's played a couple, hasn't he? Let's have a little bit of research. Oh, pressed the wrong thing, haven't I, there? So, yeah, it looks like the 2 games he's played as centre forwards, game week 12 and game week 13, 12 and 23, he's blanked in them. Obviously, transfer market doesn't include the fantasy returns. So it was the assist against Luton. He came off at half-time, didn't he, injured. Game week 12, 2-0 loss away at Bournemouth, which, incidentally, is at the reverse of this week's fixture. There you go, then. Koshal, triple captain Haaland or bench boost? I mean, I'm bench boosting because I wildcarded last week and I set up specifically to bench boost. Because I feel like the wild card has to be played near the bench boost, but outside of that, I'd probably just triple captain Haaland. I'm kind of doing it more because I didn't want to wild card and bench boost. I didn't want to wild card last week and not bench boost 37. But if you've still got the second wild card to play, I'd just wait. Right, how are we getting on? We've got 160 likes. You could do better than that, guys. Let's get it up to 200 likes. There's 560 of you in, which is incredible. So thank you so much to everyone that is joining me. This is lunchtime, earlier time. Hit those presses. KW, should I play a Stupinan or get regular on? I'd just play a Stupinan. Interestingly, 62% think that Salah will start one of the 2 games. 25% think that it'll be benched for both. Only 15% if you think he starts both. So I think that tells us all that we need to say that I still don't think Salah's an option this week. Beardy says probably play 30 minutes at the end of the game. I mean, 30 minutes against the tired Brentford or Luton defence is probably still quite appealing. But I think for a player at his price point with a blank next week, unless you was going to captain him, which you can't because of the injury, I don't think he's an option. Ben Hawkins, triple this week. Yeah, I'd do it. Right, let's ask another question then. Which chip are you playing this week? And the options are going to be triple captain, bench boost, free hit / wildcard, and none. Definitely lost my place in the chat now. Daniel says, thinking of swapping Odegaard and Trent, Salah and Maguire. No, I don't think I would do that. Mike waiting for 27 to bring Salah back. Yeah, I think that's wise. Those of you that still got wild cards, you can bring him back on wild card after the international break, to be fair. We don't even know how he's going to be when he's back because he's never been out for like this length of time or with a major hamstring tear. So, you know, we need to see whether he's still our Salah. VJ says, for those not knowing how to like, press X, press thumbs up, return to live chat. Takes 3 seconds. Thank you, mate. Nikki, means the most transferred in Jota will now have reduced minutes over the double. Not necessarily. I think it was always going to be the case anyway. We've got to remember, it's the League Cup final next Sunday, so there's going to be rotation in the Luton game. I think even in like 100, 120 minutes, they can do well. Sorry, messed up with the muting of the microphone and the cough there. Andrew Barton was thinking of bringing Jota in now. I'm not so sure. I still think Jota's a good transfer in this week. I wouldn't worry. Nikki, Bradley could be worth a punt in the double. I'm not sure. Will Gomez start instead of Trent? There's so many options. Gomez, Bradley. We just don't know. Please don't spam the chat, guys. I am going to try. I'm doing my best to get through all the questions, but if we keep getting the same questions repeated, it just slows me down. Just making sure I've not missed anything else important while I've been checking. Bench both before the Chelsea Cup final. Yeah, that is a big factor. FPL Down Under. I don't think it's worth bringing Salah in. He'll blank in 26. Yeah, I agree. Who will replace Trent? It'll be Gomez or Bradley, you'd think, but I don't know exactly who. Norwich City fan, should I triple captain Jota, seen as 93% are doing Haaland? No, just do Haaland. Marco says I could bring Diaz in, one transfer and roll the other, but don't really want him for double. Would rather Jota or Nunez. Is Salah not ready? Yeah, I agree. He'd be like last choice of the front three from Liverpool at the moment. Didn't see anything on Simicast, I'm afraid. Wissa, I think the Brentford presser is at 1:30. So we've got Pep coming up in 20 minutes. Then at 1 we've got Bournemouth, Spurs and Wolves, and then at 1:30 a whole host of others. Maguire or Bradley as low-cost replacements. I just don't know if they appeal that much. I don't think... Maguire, I feel like he doesn't have the double. So he's not got the same utility. Bradley, no guarantees he starts. Just trying to get a gauge of who's going Salah. Nikki says if Salah's fit, he starts. Klopp fighting City for the title. Andrew, done the most logical transfer. Ake in for Trent. Logic doesn't always play out, though. Sounds all right to me. Marco tempted by triple captain De Bruyne over Haaland, interestingly. On the poll, 8% not playing a chip this week. What I'm most interested by is those not playing a chip this week and why. Is it just because you've used them already or what? Nick has said, who do we plan to boot for the blank game week? I'm thinking offloading Robertson and bringing another Arsenal defender. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to lose all my Liverpool players next week. I think my initial thoughts were to go Watkins, Bowen, and Pau Torres. That was my plan last week. However, Pau didn't play. Bowen's now blanked in 5. Watkins will probably still come back in, but I may go Saka. Watkins, Saka. And then I don't know there. Could still be Pau. But if I go Saka, I think that leaves me a player more short for the next one. So I'll make a decision nearer the time, see what happens this week. Dafarsha, Haaland's grandmother's funeral is on the 22nd. So that's City playing on a Tuesday, then that's supposedly on the Thursday. I don't even know if it's a thing or not. I'm not really entertaining it at the moment. It's just the things that FPL does to you. People researching when someone's funeral is to help them with FPL decisions. Madness. Should I take a -4 for Watkins and Richarlison for De Bruyne and Adebayo? Feels a little sideways, feels a little short-sighted. I know I've kind of gone all in on the double, but that's because I decided to play the wild card to set myself well up for the next few game weeks. Whereas without the wild card, it doesn't make it as easy. Evans, triple captain Haaland this week or Solanke 28? It's got to be Haaland this week. Nikki, who would you bench this week between Solanke and Watkins? Palmer is the other option. But going to start because return against Old Club. Yeah, probably Solanke. Femi, sell Palmer or Gordon for Foden? For Palmer, it'd be a -4. No, don't do that. Gordon to Foden? Yeah, I think I'd just about do that. Porro to Dallo, Regulon. Let's wait for the Porro update. Wasim, Alisson and Doughty for Dubravka and Trent for a -4. Don't love it. Nikki, wait until the last minute to activate the triple captain in case there's a last minute injury. I doubt it. Madder, Alvarez and Saka out for Darwin and De Bruyne. Feels short-sighted again. Dalo for Trent. Don't love it. I think I'd go Ake or Van Dijk if you don't need him next week. Akash, 1-3. Should I do Trent to Moreno, Kuna to Tony for a -4, or just Trent to Moreno? Don't love Trent to Moreno, if I'm honest. Jermaine, start Garnacho or Palmer? Palmer. No, there's nothing. You've not missed anything, Chester. Jota is fit. What did Klopp say on Trent? It would maybe be back 2 weeks after the cup final, but that's basically the international break, so probably not until FPL, probably not till game week 30. Start Stupinan or Lamptey is Stupinan. How many double game weekers are we bringing in? I've gone reserved at 5. Sounds okay. Light raise with a good point that the FPL website might crash. You might do Salah starting. Haaland will bag in 2 hat-tricks in his nan's honour. Yeah, that's probably more like it. Yeah, here we go. That's an update from Brentford with returnees. Richard said people are sleeping on Diaz, are we? Is Paro injured? We'll find out in about half an hour. George, Saka and Gabriel or Trippier? Yeah. Saka and Gabriel or Trippier and Barkley? I think I'd go Saka and Gabriel. Some of the most consistent players in the game right now. Adam, done the wild card. Not sure it's the right idea. A lot of teams blanking in 29. What are your thoughts? Yeah, you need to have roots to them. You do need to bear in mind how your team's going to look for 29. So Burnley, Brentford, Villa, West Ham, Fulham and Spurs all have a fixture in 29. That's what we know at the moment. And then this is the permutations of other fixtures. A predicted 5 fixtures in the blank. Luton Forest, the most likely to drop in. Need a few cup upsets to make it easier to navigate. But yeah, keep that in mind with your transfer plans this week. George, phone and captain. I think I'd just go Haaland. George, use free hit, but don't want to captain Haaland. Who's the best other than him? Darwin, De Bruyne? It's got to be Haaland, though. VJ was cross at Howe in his line last week. Yeah, tell me about it. Nick already eyeing up the free hit for 29. Callum, I've got Purvis first bench. Do I roll the transfer with Trent being injured? He's not going to be back for ages, so you're going to have to replace him at some point. So why not this week to kind of attack the schedule? There's enough in there to attack. Mansour, Salah triple captain active. That is very, let's say brave. We'll say brave, very brave. Fair play if it pays off for you. Remzino. Have to bench one of Palmer, Gordon, Watkins, Adebayo or Saka. Please help. Gordon or Watkins. Twilmedia, have you had a timeline of João Pedro's return? No. Oh, sorry. I thought I'd muted my mic and I hadn't. Sorry. What was I looking at? João Pedro. I'm having a bit of a nightmare here, aren't I? Unknown return date. Let's see what Ben's put. Scan to determine the extent of the problem. Let's have a look on Premier injuries. To be honest, I think with the lack of utility from Brighton assets, I think it's easy just to sell him. He has a problem. We don't know how many weeks, but we don't want to take a risk and sure he can't play tomorrow. We might not have another presser from De Zerbi, unfortunately, which kind of won't help your situation, but... I feel like I need yellow flagging today. Make sure that you're hitting the like button on the stream then, and keep subscribing to the channel as well. I've had quite a few new subs today, which is great to see. So appreciate the support. I was just reading on YouTube that they've got vertical live streaming now from mobile, I think. So I think you can stream on mobile. It's interesting. Maybe something I'll try at some point. Maybe not one for today. Simon, it's the plague season, Holly. My kids have been unwell for nearly 6 weeks with cold, COVID and other nasties. Awful. Yeah, I'd say when we went away a couple of weeks ago, my daughter was only just well enough. And she's been a bit coughing again this morning. I've been coughing. Just can't seem to catch a break at the moment, even with the school holidays. We are... Sorry, what I did, you know when I coughed into the mic earlier, what I did was coughed, muted the mic. No, I moved onto the wrong screen, muted the mic, then moved onto the right screen, coughed, so you all heard it. And now I've moved back to the other screen, then I was on mute again. Oh dear, sorry. What I was saying was that Pep's presser is coming up in theory in the next 5 minutes. Legend of Renegade. Are people sleeping on Alvarez? Minutes seem to still be strong, even though De Bruyne and Haaland are back. Yeah. Alvarez has still started every Premier League game this season. That's what I've got to say on that. I think if you're an Alvarez owner, you're probably thinking that you're on the wrong asset at the moment, which I get. However, I feel like it'd be very sideways to try and change things up. That's my opinion on that one. I wonder what nuggets Pep's going to have for us today then. Put your predictions in the chat. Ayush wants to really triple captain KDB. If we just have a look at Right, Haaland plays Chelsea and Brentford this week. In the reverse fixture, he got 16 points against Chelsea, 2 goals and an assist. And he got 5 points against Brentford with a assist on his return from injury. That's 21 points across those 2 fixtures. If we look at the points predictions, again, this is available on Hub, 7-day free trial. Link is in the chat, in the description and pinned. 17.2 predicted points for Haaland this week, 5 ahead of De Bruyne. That's 15 on a triple captain. I just don't think it's worth it to back against the Haaland triple captain when everything's kind of leading us towards Haaland's the best captain pick this week. That's where I'm at with that. Every time I put something in the chat, I end up losing my place in the chat. George, Ake and Jota in for Trent and Palmer for a -4. Yeah, just about. Dallo for Trent, don't love it. Uproar, took a -8. Palmer, Mubama and Trent for Diaz, Adebayo and Ake. 10 starters for 26. Sounds all right. It looks like Pep could be in for his presser. So I'm going to jump across. Need to give that a little refresh. Gonna jump across for this presser now. Fingers crossed, guys. There is nothing to report. If not, I have no idea. At that point, I might just stop streaming. But I'm joking. I don't feel like I can cope with any dramas today in terms of who's available, who's not available, and all that stuff. But at least he's on time. It's definitely been worth it doing the earlier stream. I am here most weeks at 1 o'clock to go through the busy presser schedule, which runs from 1 till 2. But this week, when the 2 teams we're buying from are both before 1 o'clock, you just have to go early. Should I buy Jota or Roll? It depends how you set up for the next game week. Majid, I don't know whether to buy Richarlison or Palmer or start. Palmer will go crazy on City's defence. Could well happen. I don't like the thought of benching either this week, but, you know, you can't play them all unless you're bench boosting. Glyn, Solanke and Porro out for Darwin and Reguilon for a -4. Yeah, potentially. As long as you're not benching a defender with a good fixture this week to do that hit, then I think that's fine. George, Saka or Gab... I think I've done that one already, George. Please don't spam the chat. Right, come on, Pep. We're waiting for you. Kaja, is Jota out for Salah for a -4? Okay. If we get Elite, they're starting. Guardiola on injuries. Jack will not be ready. That's Grealish. Bernardo we will assess now. Kovacic is back in training. So that means that maybe Bernardo has to see how he gets through training today, by the looks of things. Not a bad opener from Pep. Dan the man, Bernardo and Trippier to Ake and Saka -4 means 9 in 26 or roll. Yeah, that sounds okay. Akash, 1 free transfer, Trent to Moreno and Kuna to Tony, or just Trent to Moreno. I've done that one as well. Thoughts on Game Week 27 wildcard to set for 28 double in the blanks? Potentially. We'll know what 29 looks like before 27. So I think you can make a decision then. Global betting tips, best free hit team. I think I've had it on today, haven't I? Let's just do this Pep presser. As we've been waiting about an hour for it. So it seems silly to miss any nuggets. I'll come back to it. If I forget, then please do put it in the chat again. Palmer to Garnacho. No, I keep Palmer. Palmer and Saliba to De Bruyne and Taylor for a hit. Can roll with full 11 next game week. Again, I don't know if I like that much. Who's more of a sell, Colwell or Konza? Colwell. Ake or VVD this week only. Van Dijk, because I prefer an attacking City triple up. Is Salah's return a danger more to Jota or Darwin? Maybe Jota. Anti-free hit 29 with your early wildcard. Depends what it looks like. I personally won't be going there. I want to get through with the free transfers. A Stupinan or Porro? Stupinan. Dubravka or Areola? Dubravka. Start Palmer or Garnacho? Palmer. What do you think about Areola to Alisson for a -4? Have Neto. Yeah, that sounds okay. Triple on Darwin, thoughts? Don't love it. It's a lot of trust in someone that's not the most consistent. Watkins to Darwin or hold? I think I'd do Watkins to Darwin. Salah or KDB? KDB for me. Palmer to Garnacho to give 11 starts to 26. Now, you could do it next week, maybe. I wouldn't do it this week. Salah is the most important, so Jota Diaz would always be second choice. Round up from Blue Tone of the City Presser. Haaland available. Grealish and Vardiol out for 2 to 3 weeks. Both should be back for the next game. Bernardo due to train later should be fine. TBC, Kovacic and Gomez back. Bradley for a 4-point hit. Taking out Bayer will not affect other plans instead of Moreno. Yeah, that's better. If Salah starts bringing him in a triple captain in, that's bold. I don't think he will. Brentford mid, who do you prefer? None of them really. KDB or Salah triple captain? KDB. Thoughts on Robertson? Yeah. Potential there. I don't think he's the worst idea. Hazard wants triple captain Bednarek. Not the week he got -7 points, was it? Own goal, red card, conceded 7 goals. Is 4 doublers enough from Mike? I don't think so. I think it needs to be at least 5, I'd say. But it is team dependent. Yovel King, -4 to get Salah back in. Random account, Palmer and Archer to Foden and Nunes. Yeah, I think I'd just about do that. New manager coming in for next season, so Bradley may be a steal next season. I think Bradley's going to have a very good end to the season. Maybe not as soon as this week, but that could push his price up. Trent's in new contract territory, isn't he? Hamza, Triple City, thinking about transferring out Trent for Reguilon. Yeah, that's fine. Thoughts on bringing in someone like McGinn for a few weeks? Decent fixtures, higher attacking threat of recent weeks. Yeah, it's not. Wouldn't be my go-to really. That is the end of Pep's presser. Remember at 1 o'clock. To be honest, with the cough, I don't think I'll make 1:30, but at 1 o'clock, we're going to hear from Spurs with Postecoglou and from Wolves about Hee-Chan Huang. Yeah, Berry Snow saying his Holly's cough's muted. Yeah, I've been trying to mute the mic when I cough. However, I've not been doing a very good job. Zane, what was said about Trent is going to be out until a week or two after the cup final, which is 2 to 3 weeks' time. But I think looking at the schedule, that takes us... It probably could be back for the City game, but then most likely blanks in 29. So I don't think you need to worry about Trent as an option until after the international break. And if Bradley comes in and does well, don't think we need to worry about Trent for the rest of the season. I think I'm getting up to date with the chat. McCloppin, take a -8 for Bernardo and Richarlison to Foden and Douglas Luiz. Don't love that. I'm guessing you need to do the 2 moves because you can't just go Bernardo to Foden. Muxmov, wildcarding in 26, Watkins to Darwin, yeah. Don't think I've missed anything else. Just checking back, always best to be on the safe side. Mansour saying Solanke better triple captain option in 28 against 2 relegation teams. Yeah, well, you can't compare Haaland with Solanke. Nils, should I take a -4 to take in Flecken or Kaminsky as second keeper? Yeah, I don't think Neto offers you much this week, so maybe. News on Hee-Chan will be coming up at 1 o'clock. Trent is out for 2 to 3 weeks. Harley, I'd bring in Van Dijk. Nunes and Jota, maybe just Nunes. A Stupin or Archer. Sorry, a stupid enough share. Share. Max saying, should I take a -4 to get rid of Porro? Let's wait to see what happens in the presser at 1. Hamza, already have triple Man City. Thinking of transferring Trent out this week, but for Reguilon this week, yeah? If Porro is injured, who should I bring in? If you're not tripled on City yet, okay. Arsenal defender. Gabriel, Saliba. I don't know about Moreno because Dean's back soon. Sensei, if you don't need him this week. Doughty, 2 doubles. Van Dijk. Late Kate, would you start Gabriel or Stupin and Gabriel? Can Wissa play the double game? I think so. We'll hear from Frank in about 40 minutes. JR, would Doku be a good option to bring in? It's just minutes, isn't it? I think there's better options. Start Solanke or Stupinan. I think I'd start Solanke. VJ says, please consider subscribing. We're doing all right on subscribers today. I'm only about 200 subs off 30k now. Salah or De Bruyne? Gotta be De Bruyne. No news on Haaland. Robertson as a double game week punt. It is more of a punt because he has just come back from a lengthy injury. However, could pay off. KDB to Salah for a hit? No. Few tempted by triple captain Solanke in 28. I love this from Nick. How can anyone even pick Darwin? A route to indigestion and frustration and chairs thrown at the TV. I think we've all had a moment like that with him. Is cash viable, says Tom. Yeah, I think he is at the minute. No guarantees that when you need him come 29 years, but at the moment it's looking good. There's a lot of people getting put in time out for spamming the chat. Ake and Diaz or Bradley and Foden? Bradley and Foden. Have Solanke and Watkins. Would you go Darwin or Tony, and for which player? I think I'd go Solanke to Darwin if you could. Michael, should I bench boost Areola, Estupin and Gabriel and Gordon? I don't know. What if you've got the My Team tool on the hub? I'll count up your points. So, like for me, Haaland triple captain looks to be predicted to be worth 17 points, whereas my bench boost is over 20. So doing that might help you decide. Nils, I want Kaminsky, Flacken and Doughty Reguilon. Which is the best double up for 25, 26 and 29? I think Kaminsky, Reguilon. Ben says, I hate not having Liverpool players. Yeah, it's a hard one. Warwick. Porro out for Dallo or Reguilon? Reguilon. Oladipo, what do you think about Salah? Should we get him though? I don't think he'll start both games, so I don't think he's an option really for me this week. Definitely lost my place in the chat again. -4 for Trent to Reguilon and Maddison to Salah. It's an option if we get elite that he starts tomorrow, but I don't think he will. Chelsea going to win at the Etihad? Are they? Nathan, 1-3. Porro to Van Dijk or all the transfer? Depends if you need that defender next week. Would I play Bell over Gabriel? No, I don't think I would, Beardy. There was prediction that Ake would rise and Trent would drop this week. Let's check. Yeah, Trent due to drop tonight. I think Ake's risen, hasn't he? Hang on. Yeah, it's gone up to 5.1. Would you start Kaminsky or Pickford Kaminsky? Richarlison to De Bruyne and Solanke to Darwin or Tony? Yeah. George, how are you dealing with 26? Going to sell my Liverpool players for a hit. Car. Not sure if I like the sound of the -8. All depends on Salah. You'd have to wait for elite they started. So have a backup plan. Dan, I feel like you're a City player light there. Gordon or Garnacho? Gordon. Porro update is coming up at 1 o'clock. Adam, Dubravka or Flecken? Flecken. Bourbon, start Palmer or Solanke? I'm tempted by Palmer, you know. Start Gross or Gordon? Gross. -4 for Trent to Reguilon, Maddison to Salah. I'm sure I've had that one already. Start Allison or Flecken? Allison. KDB triple captain? Don't hate it. Is free hit bench boost 34 a good idea? Yeah. OG Eng, when are you using the remaining chips? I'll probably free hit in 34 and triple captain in 37. Porro and new doggy replacements. Ake. I'd go Flecken over Dubravka. Nick, how often this season is Salah going to be differential? Not very many. Reguilon or a Stupinan? Reguilon. Porro or Virgil? Virgil. Bernardo or Saka? Jota or Diaz? Bernardo to Saka, Jota or Diaz? Jota. Bug Troll. Take a -8 to get Salah and Diaz for Jota and Bowen. No, I don't think I would do. Michael, what made you go free hit and not triple captain? Not free hit, bench boost. 74% of you guys playing the triple captain this week. 13% going chipless with 6% on bench boost and 6% on a free hit or wild card. Do I think Walker starts both games? Yeah. Nearly caught up with the chat in terms of questions. Regulon or Doughty if we've already got Pinnock? Doughty. Value tied up in Trent a good enough reason to keep? No. Is Walker a good option? Yes. I prefer Ake though. Is Bradley going to start? I don't know because he's missed a bit. I just can't call it. Could be Gomez. Henry, doing free hit, bringing Salah. Yeah, potentially if you're on a free hit, why not? Do you wildcard Holly? Yeah, wildcarded last week. What's the story with Bernardo Silva? Don't know. Came out of nowhere really, but he's going to be assessed in training. Mo Salah's back, yeah, but his back doesn't mean he's going to start. Beardy said ownership 18%. I think it's about 10 in live teams. Yeah, I'm doing bench boost this week. It's weird. Normally I wouldn't have even started my stream by this point. Darwin's hard because I'm bringing him in. Hey, there's hoping. Expected points with all the doublers. I think. It's hard to tally what it's tallying up here because I think I did put in that I was going to do my bench boost. Yeah, I think it's coming out at like one with the bench boost about 145. I mean, to hit 150 would be mega. I think my highest score in a game week before is 184 with 15 doublers. Franklin on a wildcard, Salah in, captaining over Haaland. Wow. I think sometimes in FPL people think, oh, I'm going to do this to try and beat everyone else, but in the process can, obviously that moment of glory would be great, but it's far better just to go with logic, common sense. -4 Watkins to Darwin, yeah. Bench Gross or Gordon. -8 to bring in Haaland, yeah. Emma, if you need to take a -20 to get Haaland in, just get him in. Would you choose Ake and Jota or Foden and Gabriel? Oh, maybe Foden and Gabriel. Triple captain options this game week. Haaland, De Bruyne, Darwin, in that order. I'd place Solanke over Gordon. Triple captain's got to be Haaland. Adrian has asked Saliba and Van Heck or Pau and Branthwaite. Saliba and Van Heck. Adebayo or Barkley? Probably Adebayo, but it just depends, where in how it fits in with your team. Rice scored against West Ham. Richarlison scored twice against Everton. Gallagher scored twice against Palace. Palmer v City. Yeah, there you go. OG, start Kaminsky or Raya? Kaminsky. Trent out for Ake or Bradley? Ake. Daniel, sorry you're ill. That's all right. I've only got a bit of a cough. I think on the whole I'm okay for now. Trent to Regulon and Richarlison for a -4. Richarlison to who? Richarlison to De Bruyne, yeah. Will Trent play one of two games? No, he's out for both. Bell or Saliba? Saliba. I think I've caught up. Someone was asking, Bobby J was asking, am I on Twitch? No, I just try and answer the questions in the chat in order. Warwick. I would wait for the press conference from Postecoglou, which is coming up. It's coming up now, basically. 1 o'clock. There's normally a little video. I might just need to turn the volume up on the PC because Spurs normally tweet like a video. So we're hoping to hear from Bournemouth, Spurs and Wolves at 1. That Porro news is going to be the big one. Also potentially waiting for some firm news on Hee-chan. Don't keep Trent just because you've got funds in him. Porro to Van Dijk, yeah. Andrew says, bit gutless with only 5 doublers. Team fine moving forward. That's okay, though. I think 5 doublers is kind of the minimum that you want. But I think that's fine. Let's put the tweet deck back open then, see what's going on. Oh, Abod says he missed the answer. I would bench Branthwaite. Yeah, the injuries keep coming for City. Seems to be the news that the media are wanting to perpetrate a predicted lineup for City. Edison, Walker, Akanji, Diaz, Ake, Roger De Bruyne, Kovacic, Foden, Alvarez, Haaland. That's just a prediction. It's not a leak or anything like that. So there we go. While we're waiting for these pressers to start, still time for you to hit that like button. We're nearly at 300 likes. Hang on, I've got too many things open here. Sorry, I've got WhatsApp open in the background and it's just now I've turned my volume up, it's just going to beep at me. But I nearly shut the stream down, which would have been a disaster. Pratik, Salah back. Should I be worried as I own Jota? No, I don't think Salah will start. Certainly not against Brentford. Let's talk final. How are you getting past your 7 non-players next week? I'm going to sell 3 Liverpool players for a -4. I've got 2 frees. T. Burks wants a United player, not the week. Bobby, should I do Jota and Ake or Gabriel and Foden? Gabriel and Foden. Bradley. Van Dijk and Saka. Daniel, yes, those moves look okay. Right, we should have an update from Postecoglou on Porro at any time. In theory. Daniel, is it worth going Doku instead of Foden to save funds for Salah now? Oh, Oscar Bob won goal of the month. Fair enough. Probably not the most exciting. Alejandro, Pinnock or Stupinan? Pinnock. Best. Why can't I get my words out? Ake, best City defender for the double. Yes. Right, where is Postecoglou? Update from Bournemouth then. Favre will miss the Newcastle game with illness. Availability 3, the rest of the squad remains the same. So that was the first of the 1 o'clock pressers. So Spurs and Wolves are the ones that we're wanting now. Hopefully we don't need to wait long. Maguire. I don't know where the love is for Maguire. Where is it coming from? Christian, why bench boost over triple captain? I played my wild card last week because I wasn't very well set up for the blanks and doubles at all. And then I decided that if I was wild carding, I didn't want to then wait another 12 weeks for the bench boost. So I've decided to bench boost this week instead of triple captain. And predicted points wise, it is in theory going to help. I like my bench is predicted to outscore Haaland's triple captain. Whether it happens in reality, who knows? I think this keeps refreshing. VJ Martinez out for 2 months. United have good fixtures. Yeah, but in my eyes, it's form over fixtures. It's double game week assets, then form players, then fixture players. Gazman didn't miss the revised time. You can watch it back. Watch it back. Don't worry. It's only because of the way the presses fell. United probably blank in 29 now, don't they? Which doesn't help. Gazman said triple captain on Haaland. Sorry, my mic was going a bit funny. Triple captain on Haaland or bench boost with Flecken, Walker, Garnacho and a Estupiñán. Have you got your wild card still? That would be my question. I think if you still got the wild card, I'd probably just bench boost. I'd probably just triple captain. Still waiting for this update from Spurs. Postecoglou, like the video from Postecoglou is normally like on it for 1 o'clock. So I don't know why it's got astray. But we are waiting for this update on Porro. They've gone a bit wild at Brighton with a Dingra back today. FPL Stein, do you always back double game week players? Brentford defence v Brighton, yeah. Zohib is a 0.1 off regular and Salah for Trent and Richarlison. I don't think you need to buy Salah this week. Sorry, there's a flurry of posts there on the tweet deck, but nothing from Spurs yet. No news on Haaland's personal situation now. Let's recap everything that we've got then. So just one little update from Bournemouth. Bernardo, a new one potentially on the injury list for City. Jack Grealish is out 2 to 3 weeks. Szoboszlai could be back for the cup final. Trent 1 or 2 weeks after that. Salah back in full training and will return to the Liverpool squad at Brentford. Gomez is fit. Bradley's back. Alisson's back. Matoma away from the main group in training for Brighton. Arteta coy on injury situations, so no firm update on the likes of Zinchenko. Wilson having surgery today and could be out until close to the end of the season. Hee-Chan we expect to be back for Wolves. Yeah, a few injuries at United. Shaw is doubtful for the weekend. Foster out for Burnley, but Taylor is back. No update from Palace. Still waiting on Spurs. That's about it. Pedro Neto, another player with good fixtures. I don't know whether this update from Spurs is coming, guys. I don't know how much longer my voice is going to last. So I may look to wrap things up there because we did cover those early pressers. So bit of a different stream from me today at the earlier time. We have hit a lot of the key information now. No deadline stream tomorrow because I'm on Sky. But if you've enjoyed this one, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. We know that Salah is back in training and could return against Brentford. So that's it. If you want to become a Fantasy Football Hub member, 30% off and a 7-day free trial using the link in the description to get your team rated and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again next week. Huge good luck to everyone playing a chip this week in particular.